also, and of course, it's the back. As you get older, you start to develop a little osteoarthritis back there, and it starts to get stiffer and not as comfortable, and takes longer to work things out when you get up and start moving around. And then in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, as I saw also changes in body composition, probably from lots of sitting, so that got me all twirled up. So I thought, I need to go spend more time in the weight room. So got really into the whole, heavy squats, deadlifts and stuff. And really, it did what I wanted it to do. I did, I lost some body fat and became a little leaner. But obviously the way I was working out was exacerbating the existing problems, making them worse. So I decided I needed to find a better way to work out. I needed some help. I needed to go to an expert.
What's up, my friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Legendary Life Podcast. I'm your host, celebrity trainer and high performance health coach, Ted Rice. This is a podcast for men and women who are looking to boost their energy and upgrade their health. So get ready to learn proven health, fitness, and mindset strategies to unlock your full potential. And today I've got a great episode for you. It's with my incredible coaching client, Marilyn, who is 67 years young and has been in the fitness industry herself, and she actually owned a fitness business. So she's highly educated when it comes to the health and fitness game. But she was struggling with some injuries. She was also struggling to optimize her health and didn't know who to listen to or what exactly to do to deal with her specific problems. And that's when she ended up hiring me. And you're about to hear that story. You're about to hear what she was dealing with, what went through her mind when she considered hiring me, and of course, what her achievements were, what her success stories were. And really excited to share this one with you because this is less about fat loss, because Marilyn's already lean and healthy when it comes to her body fat percentage, but she was dealing with some injuries and some other issues. So if you've been dealing with some injuries, if you're dealing with some optimization issues as well, because you're not sure what to do, you're gonna learn a lot from this episode with Marilyn. And if you want some help with your particular health and fitness situation, what I wanna do is I wanna invite you to hop on a call with me. What are we going to do on this call? We're going to, number one, get clear exactly where you are currently in terms of your health and fitness and your nutrition, and we're going to get you clear on how to move forward. We're also going to identify some of the hidden beliefs and patterns that are keeping you from making progress in the gym and in the kitchen. And the third thing is we're going to talk about what it will really take for you to make the shift now to create the lean, strong, healthy body you've always wanted. And what we're really talking about here is claiming a new life, stepping into a new life, and using health and fitness as the vehicle to do that. So if that's something that resonates with you, what I want you to do is go to legendarylifepodcast.com/talk and sign up for the call now. That's all for that. Now it's time to step into this powerful conversation with my incredible coaching client, Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for coming on and sharing your success story today.
Hi, Ted. How you doing?
Pretty good. Here in Chiang Mai in the morning, and it's evening time, your time in Texas, correct?
That's right. Correct.
Well, Houston. Awesome. So, Marilyn, what I wanted to start with is just a little introduction to the listeners, because people may not know you. This is your first time being on the show and sharing your story today. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Marilyn Burns. I live in Houston, as I said. I'm 67 years old. I recently retired from my job. I retired in October from medical sales. And prior to that, I was in group fitness and personal training. For a number of years, I owned my own fitness facility for a while when I lived in Illinois, and I've been pretty active most of my adult life. And basically, what brought me to you was the fact that I've had years and years of working out and probably overuse. And now at my advanced age, things are starting to show up that I feel like I need some help with. And even though I know how to work out, I think I needed some expertise in maybe some corrective stuff to address some of the problems that I have developed over the last few years. So that's pretty much what has brought me to you.
Excellent. And you like you just said, you were struggling with a few things. If I remember our conversation correctly, you were doing a certain type of workout, but you were also having problems, especially with the idea of progressing from there and lifting heavier weights. Can you talk a little bit about what you were dealing with your workouts, with your injuries, and basically the life you were having or the approach you were having before you started coaching with me?
Yes, sure. I've been, really pretty active most of my life from the time I was a little kid. And, cheerleader in high school, rode horses, played tennis, played golf very badly, just a number of things. And then I really got into the whole back in the 80s aerobics. And so eventually in the 90s, I owned a fitness facility. And so I taught a lot of group exercise classes. I was also a personal trainer. And even after I sold my business, I continued to teach a lot of fitness classes for about 25 years. And that probably has contributed to some of what I have. I've, over the years, dealt with low back issues, off and on, probably since cheerleading days. And also, and of course, it's the back. As you get older, you start to develop a little osteoarthritis back there, and it starts to get stiffer and not as comfortable, and takes longer to work things out when you get up and start moving around. And and then, in addition, after I started my job, actually my sales job, I started having issues with my hips, particularly my hip flexors, probably my hip joints as well, but didn't know that it was my hip joints. But I attribute a lot of this to the fact that I was sitting long hours while I was driving to accounts, lots of long drives, and pretty much on a daily basis. And when I wasn't doing that, visiting accounts and driving all over Texas, I was sitting a good part of the time while I would do my admin work when I would come home. And as I look at it now, I'm sure what was going on was that the amount of sitting that I was doing, even though I have always worked out probably about 5 times a week, that could not offset what was happening to the joint structures, the tissue, my back, everything. The sitting was becoming almost as big a problem as an acute injury, I believe. So years of that. So I guess you could say that when the other hours, I'd work out for an hour or so, but other than that, I had a sedentary life, basically. And it was doing things to me in addition to physically, what am I trying to say? Structurally, I guess. It was doing some other things to me as well, which I'll mention. But at any rate, I think that I just kept working out probably incorrectly throughout all of this. Then in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, as I saw also changes in body composition, probably from lots of sitting, not necessarily a lot of weight gain, maybe 4 or 5 pounds, but actual changes in body composition post-menopause. I'm sure that's what that was about, because I started seeing, getting thicker in the middle and stuff and not looking like I used to. So that got me all twirled up. So I thought, I need to go spend more time in the weight room. I need to really hit it with the weights. So got really into the whole, heavy squats, deadlifts, and stuff. And really, it did what I wanted it to do. I did, I lost some body fat and became a little leaner, but obviously the way I was working out was exacerbating the existing problems, making them worse. So I thought, okay, well, I'd better go see the orthopedist and find out just how much damage am I doing to myself, because I'm not the kind of person that's going to back off. I want to keep doing what I want to do with my workouts. And I just didn't want to quit, but I was afraid if I keep doing this, I'm making it to the point where I'm seriously injured and I won't be able to do anything. So let me, for once in my life, use a little common sense. So I went to see the sports medicine doc, the orthopedic surgeon, the hip guy, and I have a bulging disc in my lower back, but I also have labral tears in both hips, in addition to quite a bit of bursitis as well. A lot of this is just kind of overused stuff. And so that was my proof and evidence that, yes, I am indeed hurting myself. So I decided I needed to find a better way to work out. I needed some help. I needed to go to an expert. I needed something other than physical therapy. I needed somebody who really knows how to do like corrective type exercise and to restructure my program, because I was not doing the right thing. Even though I enjoyed doing the barbell back squats and all that stuff, I wanted to find a way that I could continue on, not lose what I'd gained, but not continue to cause more wear and tear and damage. So that's when I found you and talked to you and just, lay it out and see what you would have to offer me. And one of the reasons that I decided to talk to you is because I'd been listening to your podcast and I really liked the things. I liked the topics that you talked about. I liked your kind of holistic approach, because you seemed like you were addressing not just diet and exercise, but the entire individual, including, stress, sleep, all of the things that you need to consider if you really want to feel good. That's how I found my way to you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all of that. And I'm curious, what was the thing that made you decide to hire me?
We had that initial chat and kind of an introductory conversation, phone call. That was the deciding factor for me, because, well, first of all, I just really like how genuine and sincere you are and so dedicated to what you're doing. But you wanted to know about, you asked so many good questions and you were very detailed, and you seemed very thorough about going through everything. Like, what other issues did I have besides my hips? Was there anything else? Like, what about, metabolically? Did I have any issues with blood pressure? Did I have, whatever else? And somebody who's, obviously over 50 or 60, you probably want to know these things. So it's not like you didn't address this. And so, yeah, I do have a little bit of high blood pressure. Yes, I do. And then we got into talking about not just the strength training, but we also addressed the cardiovascular training. And you started talking about that and asking me what I'm doing for that. And that's when I revealed that, yeah, I probably need to be thinking about that as well, because I've noticed that my resting heart rate has increased over the last few years, and that has gone up. That's not a good thing. You don't want your resting heart rate to go up. So I think by virtue of the fact that you wanted to, or at least the impression I got, was that you really wanted to talk about me as a whole, human, not just my diet and exercise, but everything that might contribute to my wellness, health and wellness.
Yeah, that's what I do. Because that's what I feel like you have to do if you want great results.
It works. We've had, since working with you, I have really, first of all, I'm just amazed at how much better I feel. in every respect. The hips are a lot better. Of course, since I'm retired, I'm not sitting as much. So I'm not sitting nearly as much, I should say. I don't sit much at all anymore during the day. So that's probably helped. But, I had discomfort, and some of the very targeted things that you've had me do have made a world of difference. And then, of course, that whole cardio thing that we've been doing has made a world of difference as far as my resting heart rate has really dropped. So it's like you just zeroed in on all these little things, and then you take it all together, and it has really made a huge difference. And I feel a lot better than I did.
That's excellent. And can you talk a little bit about any breakthroughs you had while working with me? Was there something that helped you look at things different, or a result that you'd like to share?
Yeah, actually, yes. If you've been active, or if you're active, if you're like a runner or somebody like that who does maybe some kind of activity that's really repetitive motion, I think now, and I don't want to make a sweeping generalization here, because I know that there are some people who can probably run as much as they want for as long as they want, and it doesn't bother their hips, their joints, their feet, or anything. They're just blessed somehow. But I would say there's a good percentage of people out there that at some point in time, if you're doing that, maybe sometime after 50 or 60, you're going to say to yourself, oh boy, I think my knees are going, or my hips or something. The joints take a beating from the repetitive motion stuff. And so I think there's a day of reckoning where you say, I think I may need to change something if I want to continue to be an active person and not have pain while I'm doing what I want to do. So, yeah, I'd love to run, but I can't do that very much. I do it, but no distance or anything like that. It's just little intervals here and there. The heavy weightlifting, the barbell squats, I don't do those anymore. But you have found a way for me to keep my legs really strong without having to cause more damage to the joints. So it becomes about joint health as you get older. It becomes a mission to find ways to maintain a high level of fitness without wearing the joints out, because without the joints, you're not going to do anything, right?
Absolutely. The muscles, we all focus on the muscles, but if the muscles can't transmit force through the joint because the joint's irritated or destroyed, in some people's cases, you can't, you start to lose function even though your muscles are okay.
That's right. And so that was probably the really big eye opener for me, is that I need to think. I knew my hip joints were hurting. My knees are not too bad, so I'm lucky that way. But the emphasis that you put on joint preservation as you age, that was like the light bulb thing for me.
Excellent. Yeah, so important. And you're bringing up such a critical point, because you're still able to do a lot of the things that you like to do, but we had to just put in some exercises, some isometrics, some correctives, and some other things to help you to help you stay and get in better shape, but also while making you feel good at the same time.
Yes, and just to be clear, it has not been a program where you have regressed me to something that's sort of beginnerish, because I guess I'm not on a beginner level.
Not at all.
Okay, so, I think probably for my age, I think I'm probably fairly strong. I don't like to talk about myself a whole lot. It's a Midwestern thing. We're taught not to brag, right? So, but anyway, I think I've done fairly well in my sixth decade of life. But you have given me exercises to do that are challenging. It is not like you dumbed it down. No, that's not it at all. It's still quite a challenge. You've just made the adjustments so that I'm not, as I said a million times here, causing more damage. So,
yeah. And I'm curious, what changed other than your approach, your pain levels, the way you feel physically? Was there something emotionally that happened for you? Was there a change psychologically?
Well, I mean, I think that's the breakthrough, though, is that it is all still possible. It's all still possible. It's just get smarter about how you do it. And that gave me kind of a restored hope and, an enthusiasm that, I'm still in the game. Yeah. Down maybe, but not out yet.
Not at all. You're doing amazingly well, Marilyn. And we have you pushing hard with your cardiovascular fitness where you weren't before. We've changed your strength training so that you're still going to be pushing your muscles hard, but yeah, you're not going to be doing big back squats or heavy back squats. I'm so proud of you and what you've accomplished, and so proud of you for breaking through and being open to a different perspective. Because I remember our conversation when you first signed up with me, and you had stopped. You were like, I haven't worked out with weights in like over a couple weeks, which was unusual for you because you're just like, I just don't know what to do. I just, I don't want to hurt myself with the heavy lifting. And I know I need to get up and move more. So I'm just so proud of all the changes you've made. Well,
I'll tell you, it's been great. I mean, we're a little skeptical because you get in these ruts sometimes where you think, I've got to do it this way. This is how it has to be. And so, it was kind of a leap of faith, I guess, that I took, that you really were not going to let me lose the gains that I had made, that we could, I could continue to see progress, but just in a much safer, better way to do it. So I am so glad that I tried it. I am so glad. And I'm so glad I had that initial conversation with you, because I think if you're sitting on the fence, if anybody out there is sitting on the fence about whether or not to go forward with Ted, let me just say, I think I can say with 100% confidence, you are not going to be disappointed. It's somebody out there who has been, if you've tried all different kinds of things and you're not achieving the goals that you have, whatever they may be, everybody's got something different that they're trying to do or accomplish. I think you owe it to yourself to at least have the conversation, that Ted is willing to have that initial conversation and just see if there's a possibility that maybe he's got something to offer you.
Marilyn, that's fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story today. And, just honestly, just sharing what happened and your experience. And I'm just, like I said, so proud of you and so grateful that we had this opportunity to work together.
Well, I've enjoyed all of it. And thank you so much. You have just given me kind of a new lease here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, and thank you for coming on and sharing your story, because I can talk about myself and I can put up episodes all I want, but when you have someone who's worked with you, who shares their experience, and it's a positive one, I mean, that's why I do this, to let people know, hey, there's someone out there who you can trust. Here's a person who got the results. And it means a lot for both me and also for the people listening who don't know who to trust or very skeptical, because there's a lot of people out there who claim to be able to help, but actually don't.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. I mean, I kind of shopped around, so yes, that's absolutely true. But I would be a cheerleader for you anytime, Ted. Anytime. My pleasure.
Thanks again. That wraps up another episode of the Legendary Life Podcast, and I hope you learned a lot from listening to Marilyn's story, listening to what she was struggling with, listening to how she was going about trying to find solutions to those problems, and ultimately how she ended up working with me and how that changed the trajectory of where she was going with her health and fitness. And really excited to share this one with you because it's a bit different than the usual fat loss episodes that we share about because, what they tell you to do in marketing, right, is to say, hey, this is the problem that I fix. But I help people with a variety of things from fat loss to health optimization to working through injuries. And that's what I love to do. And such a passion for me, such an honor to be able to work with the people that I work with. All my clients, it's just an amazing, I'm truly blessed is what I'm trying to say here. But I also want to say, if you're looking for that next level and you're paying your $100 personal trainer, $100 an hour personal trainer, which I did for many years, so I understand that relationship. If you're paying your trainer $100 an hour, but you just don't feel like you feel like you got a good relationship with them, but there's just something that's missing in your overall health. Or perhaps you tried getting one of those courses or PDF downloads for $97 or $5.97 or whatever it was, or some of the free apps, and you're just, you know what? I'm not getting the results that I want, and I really want to get this area of my life handled. I want to step up, not just into a new body, a new level of health, but into a new life and really take charge of this area of my life in 2019. I invite you to book a call. And what are we going to do on this call? Like I said at the beginning, we're going to figure out exactly where you are in terms of your health and fitness and your nutrition and how to move you forward. We're also going to identify some of the hidden beliefs and patterns that are keeping you from making progress at the gym and in the kitchen. And lastly, we're going to talk about what it will take for you to make this shift now to finally step into that lean, strong, healthy body that you've always wanted and really claim that new life that comes with that comes with the transformation of stepping up into something new. So again, if that sounds like something you're interested in, if that resonates with you, then I invite you to go to legendarylifepodcast.com/talk and book a call now. So that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it inspired you, and I hope you learned a few things as well. Have an amazing week, and I will speak with you soon.